Oh, that's lovely. Less than 10 minutes to film. Okay, so here's an update. We're back in Michigan because the friend who was going to take us to San Francisco backed out while we were in San Diego trying to pick up my cat. They gave minimal reasons. This was someone I thought I could trust. Someone who we brought to California with us because their living situation was really shitty. While I wasn't expecting a tit for tat, a little more respect would have been nice. Um, I so much has happened since we were supposed to be in San Francisco that I haven't been able to do an update because we've been literally just trying to survive. A close friend of mine who lives in Germany, her parents live in Michigan, and they pretty much insisted that we live with them because they didn't want us living on the street anymore, in our car. So we had to spend what little bit of money we had left, which was going to be, what we survived on in San Francisco. By the way, he had a job. He passed the interview. He was going to be working right away once we got there. There wasn't going to be a wait time or, him having to search for work. So we bought a $500 piece of shit car, drove across country after spending money on a U-Haul because so-called friend dumped us in another friend's hotel room and just said, I can't do this. I'm leaving you here. Those friends were in town for a convention in San Diego, and we had all paid for another hotel together. The other friend that left us, we were going to be rooming with another group of friends after the first hotel ran out, because it was just by the airport. So in town, we were moving somewhere else, and we needed a vehicle, and we couldn't find a car right away, so we had to rent a U-Haul van to get it there. Bought a $500 piece of shit car, which is falling apart, by the way, to get us to Michigan. We spent the rest of our money on gas and food to get to Michigan. He got a job right away, but it didn't start for another week. His tags are now expired, and Michigan insurance is really, really expensive. So we're still on California insurance so that he's still covered. So he's not driving without insurance. It's just not Michigan insurance. It's California, which isn't illegal because technically because when you visit a state, you don't change insurance companies or insurance policies. You just go for a visit, you're covered, and then you go back. Michigan doesn't need to know that we're not going back yet. So our insurance company is going to let us continue with our California policy so that there's not a lapse in insurance when we do switch to another company, because our current company is just too expensive. We're paying $56 a month for California car insurance. They wanted $250 a month for Michigan because of all the different liability things that they require that California doesn't. So he got a part-time job. He works at Kroger now. He put in an application first at a pet store, like a pet supply / like they sell like mice and stuff. He just got an interview like yesterday or something, and he starts work there tomorrow, so now he has 2 part-time jobs. There is factory work in the area, but until we get our tags updated, I don't feel comfortable with him driving that far away from town. So yeah, that's what's going on. We're completely broke. We're struggling completely. We're relying heavily on donations via my PayPal because I'm disabled and cannot work. That's not something I can do. And I haven't qualified for disability yet because the doctors here in Michigan fucked me over and I wasn't able to apply because they wouldn't support me even though it's obvious that I cannot work. And I couldn't file in California because I couldn't find good doctors in time. So I will be attempting to refile here at some point, which could take years. So it's not even anything that can happen right away. The laws here are also different as far as picking up pain medication. If it's considered a controlled substance, like Vicodin and now Tramadol. Michigan apparently requires you to show unexpired identification. So I've got to get that in order to pick up my pain medication. I've been completely without pain medication aside from Tylenol and ibuprofen and my gabapentin, which doesn't help me with my pain, for almost 3 weeks now. So I'm not doing so well. So yeah. That's the update. A final note I want to address, and I'm not going to say anything else pertaining to it. I'm queer, I'm female-bodied, I'm disabled, and I'm below the poverty line. Those are all valid points for why I'm afraid about the current outcome of the election. And I don't have to justify my fear any further than that. If you need to know why, you need to do your own research. I don't need to hold your hand for that. And I don't need anybody else telling me I'm wrong for how I feel. And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want this to turn into a political rant. So that's the current state of what's going on in my life and what's going on in the life of me and my fiance as a couple. We're still together, we're living under the same roof, we're living with some very nice, generous people who are barely better off than we are, but we are not living in our car anymore, so that's a bonus. Anyway, I'm almost out of time for filming because my phone gives me an indication of how much I can film before it runs out of space. That's why my videos have been so short lately. But anyway, I will try and make a new update sometime much sooner than I've been able to in the past. So, thanks for watching. Take care.